right? And then creating angles, off balance, and now from here. So now from here, if I drive him, he's gonna, now it's a lot easier for me to connect my hand. He's been like out here, no risk at all, right? If I'm feinting here, now this is good because now there's no risk of me getting injured because he can't do it. He can't find armbar me from here. No way, right? So I'm really all about being in a good position where I'm protected, right? It's my number one thing when I grapple. And then you could one day be 41 years old and still be doing this stuff because you can stay safe. He said he's 28.
He said he's 28, yeah.
28 years old.
Not even mastered yet.
Yeah.
Like in boxing, fundamentals do jab, straight, footwork. What would you consider fundamental for No-Gi Judo?
You know, same thing, right? When you're boxing out here, not that I'm a boxer or anything, but you, right? Showing the hand, managing distance. And now when you're down here, right, you're managing distance using this sort of a thing. This is kind of like your jab. And then creating angles, right, where I'm pushing, pulling, right? Who knows what's going to happen? This kind of a thing, right, that's footwork. So it's essentially the same thing, right? And it's difficult to just kind of go in there, lock up, and then do no judo here. Right? I'm going to throw you. Right? It's really difficult. So the idea being managing this sort of distance, right? And then working on these control positions, right? And then creating angles, off balance, and now from here, big throw here, right? So it's almost identical, really. Wrestling, judo, boxing. It's all combat sport with two bodies. You know? So, yeah.
Yeah, what did you take away from that Japanese wrestler you learned?
Ray?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's responsible for some of this stuff.
Okay.
I just worked out with the Olympic gold medalist from this past. And he was the one when he was like in Japan, lead leg left, right? Lead arm right. We teach this to all the kids. And we were up at Cornell, with Vito, Argel, Yanni, those guys were like, whoa, I've never heard that before. You sure you translated that thing right? And I was like, yeah. You know, so a lot of the fundamentals are different in some parts of the world. And I think if you get really good at systemizing it, you know, ever since any wrestler ever existed in the US, offense arm, defense arm. Offense arm, defense arm. Right? Always. Switch stance, offense, defense. Offense, defense. Opposite in Japan. Russia too, right? Offense, right? He shoots right. Defense, down one. Right? So I think that was like a really interesting thing. The most basic of the basic thing, that they were completely on the opposite sides of the spectrum, literally blew everybody's mind. Because they have all these like, Vito just took third of the world in wrestling. Right. And he was like, what? Are you kidding me? And I'm like, judo guy too. I'm like, what? You know, nuts. I think that would be my biggest takeaway from that experience.
So that over-under position, where you have that lap pose, what differentiates that you're going to hip bump and square up for that body lock versus just going to the side?
So a lot of it is like this direction here, right? This is like even. Now I just have a little bit of an advantage here, you know? So it's like, depends on how he reacts to this. You know, if it's lead leg right here, lead leg forward like this, right? If I have this elbow locked and I have access to this inner knee, it's very easy for me to bump this and put more pressure, right? So once I get that one advantage, right? And now I'm off balancing him already. So now from here, if I drive him, he's gonna, now it's a lot easier for me to connect my hands, right? So it's just trying to gain one or two things and then putting the pressure on him after that. And then seeing how he reacts, you know? Because if he doesn't push back into me, it's gonna be very difficult for me to take him over this way versus side. He's backpedaling the whole time, right? So it's that kind of a thing. I would do one more question.
Do you have your own personal hierarchy for these upper body positions where your hands are locked, like where you're trying to get to, or hitting throws?
Yes, because I'm a right-sided judo player, and most of my judo happens from here, which I turn to this direction. So if I have this underhook and if I miss a throw, and if his head comes out, he has my back, right? If I'm turning to this direction, I want to do everything off of this underhook and the pinch headlock position here. This is the best for me because even if I miss the throw here, right, there's no way for him to take my back because of this underhook. It's kind of like being in half guard here, right? and then having the underhook. You know, if the top person gives up on the hook, I can take his back. Right? Make sense? So this is sort of I love this sort of the most. This is like, I'm gonna take anyone down here kind of. You know, there's a lot of little tricks that you can do. This is a good one too, when you put the foot on the foot. So now he can't really step away from that leg, and then you can kind of collect the leg. Nice. This kind of thing's good. You know, I like the upper body lock if you can connect the wrist and behind the back like this. But that's also like person's girth, your arm length, how good he is at defensively. You get in there and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna do that, and he's a Greco-Roman guy, and he knows that position better than you, high risk, because he's gonna suplex you, right? But in a position like having this flank position, there's a lot less risk, because as you can see how dominant that position is. Right? And then if I fail, knock him, not slow. All right guys, thank you very much. Thank you.